680 nights.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting radio broadcasting opportunity by calling WNZK Radio at 248-557-3500.
Welcome to the bright side of aging. My name is Ike Engelbaum. I'm a pharmacist and the publisher of AmericanSeniorGazette.org. It has been wisely said, you cannot help getting older, but you can help getting old. It has also been said that age is a matter of the mind. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. My purpose in doing the show is so that seniors and caregivers can share their ideas and questions on how we can age gracefully and in a vertical position for as long as our good genes will allow. And if we've inherited bad genes, how to outwit them. Our topics include senior housing, financial, legal, safety, travel, health issues, interesting senior events in the community, and most of all, tips on how to put old on hold. If you are diabetic, I am sure you have been warned by your doctor about the circulation problems that may occur, especially in your legs and your feet. That is why Medicare still pays for a free new pair of shoes if you're diabetic. And also, there's a system called neuropathy that may settle in that can be treated by a non-invasive system best described as the anodyne therapy. Call 1-888-489-8980 and find out how your leg circulation could be possibly improved by the anodyne therapy. Anodyne therapy is a non-invasive way of producing warmth in your legs and is applied by a professional in the convenience of your home or a nearby office. That's 1-888-489-8980. And if you'd like a free brochure on how Medicare can help you as a diabetic patient, many services are available for free. Call 1-888-489-8980.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
And we're on. Hopefully you are as well. I am looking forward to actually a little change of the weather that's sunnier, but we've been very, very lucky. And hopefully you can appreciate this change of weather if indeed you are in the rain type mood. For those of you who are regular listeners, as you know, the mission of our Bright Side of Aging is to look at the bright side of life. And likewise, we have the advantage of having all kinds of seasons in Michigan. You know, there are two ways of looking at life, and that is one is an optimist and the other one is a pessimist. And the truth of it is that when you analyze it, we are very, very fortunate to live in this state where we do get a smattering of different seasons. And you know, you really don't appreciate life until you see what other opportunities are out there that you can benefit from. I don't like to go into the political arena because, quite frankly, the show is intended to give you tips on how you can live in the positive way. And the difference between a pessimist and an optimist, as I like to describe it, in fact, I could classify it as an Ikeism. And I call them Ikeisms only because I feel there's wisdom in some of them and most of them and hopefully all of them. And that is that an optimist and a pessimist die exactly the same way. But boy, they live life completely different. I encourage you to live life in a positive way. And one of the things that we run into, of course, is as we age, we want to maintain a life that's enjoyable. In all due respect, although I'm a pharmacist, the truth of it is that we many times depend on medication to make us feel better. But you know, the best medicine of all is right within our own body. That's why I can't encourage you strongly enough to exercise. Have your days proportioned in a way that you enjoy it. Also, without seeming like it's a religious program either, I think it's very, very important that you have some sort of a belief system, because the truth of it is that if you don't have some sort of an anchor in your life as to what you truly believe in, I think you miss out on a great part of your life. And I strongly encourage you that if you're not into the whole religious aspect, and I can argue both sides of the fence, I practice Judaism because, quite frankly, I feel comfortable in the belief system and the traditions. And I believe a great deal of it is due to the parents that brought me up. And if you're unhappy in your particular situation, there's nothing wrong with exploring different belief systems. The one thing that I can tell you as far as religion is concerned, very rarely, if someone has got some sort of a true religion that's acceptable in our society, do you hear these horrendous type situations, that devastations like we had in Las Vegas. I don't know the killer's background, but I would venture to say he was not a very religious guy. You don't do the type of havoc or create that kind of havoc if you have a belief in having other people around you enjoy life. So the message is that have something to look forward to. And in a few minutes, I'm going to give you a strategy that's very practical. As you know, I'm a founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which I started 40 years ago, in fact, to help people get together and start or build their own business, or if they're working for somebody, how they can be that much more creative in the position they have. Tomorrow morning, we are having our Entrepreneur Network meeting like we have every Thursday, and we have other meetings throughout the month. We'll keep you posted. But if you're quote-unquote a senior, which is now looked upon as anyone 50 and above, although some people like to regard being a senior once you begin get Medicare. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a label, and it depends on how you feel. But if you're retired and you're looking for a way to increase your income, or while you're working now and want to have a secondary form of income, by all means, show up 9:15 to 10:30. We have our meeting at the Level 1 Bank, 37100 Woodward, which is on the southeast corner of Big Beaver and Woodward and Bloomfield Hills. So by all means, if you have someone that you know that's sharing an idea with you, hey, I'd like a second career. After 10:30, around 10:45, we have one-on-one type meetings, and we brainstorm with each other as to what we can do to increase our income. It's free. We have donuts and coffee, all the coffee that you can drink. All you got to do, as they say, is show up. And if you do, you'll meet some very interesting people and expand your connections with other people. The wonderful thing about the Entrepreneurs Group is these are all people that are there ready to help one another in achieving our goals. And one of our members, Richard Welsh, is in studio, and we'll be talking in a few minutes about a venture that he and his wife are involved with that I know is going to be of interest to you. But right now, I'd like to have you meet another entrepreneur all the way from Tennessee, Dr. Andre Lee. Tell me, Dr. Andre Lee, did you move to Tennessee so your name would rhyme with the state, or was that just by happenstance?
That was pretty much happenstance.
Well, listen, the happenstance is okay. And for those of you who are not aware, Dr. Andre Lee was the administrator for Highland Park General Hospital. And then when the hospital sold, he decided to develop a career devoted to helping young black students consider getting into the healthcare field. He's a professor, he's written books, and he's got all kinds of fundraising ideas if you belong to an organization promoting the whole history of American people who are of the African descension. And the truth of it is that he is on a mission to try to educate people not only in the health area, but also in the wealth area. And Dr. Lee has helped start hospices and works with all kinds of organizations around the country. Is that correct, Dr. Lee?
Yes, sir. And in fact, I just had dinner last night with some people about setting up a hospice down here in Tennessee.
In Tennessee, all right. Well, good for you. Well, you've got a whole program to promote health and all, and you tell us about your foundation.
Well, my foundation, Leeway Foundation, we have a lot of products and services devoted to health education. A lot of them are aimed at African Americans, but a lot of them are generic too. And so we have 3 traveling exhibits dealing with black health, pioneers from the past, and we've got about 6 or 7 children's books devoted to medical history as well. And they're very easy reading, and about 25, 26 pages each. And we got a lot of demand for that. And lately, more recently, I've had conversations with a lot of churches. In fact, I have one tomorrow. The churches that want to bring the exhibit to their location as a fundraiser. We're going to bring some books there to sell, and we've got posters to sell. And I will be coming out with a 2018 African American medical health calendar. I've had a lot of requests for that lately. I haven't done one of those in about 2 or 3 years, but I decided, okay, I'll do one. And that's coming out. It's going to have a lot of health tips in it for a lot of people, and we do things like grocery bags. People that use reusable grocery bags, which is very much a convenience now if you don't be bothered with the plastic. But they forget that they have to wash those things every now and then. Otherwise, you contaminate your food. So
Wow.
that's a very commonsensical tip,
Right.
I would think I wouldn't have to mention that, but I guess I do.
Yeah, well, the truth of it is that we take it for granted that somehow we can just keep reusing bags, uh,
Hmm.
and they say the trouble with common sense is that it's not too common, and I'll be upfront with you. I never really thought about it, but you get the fruit and the vegetables out of the bin that have really not been washed, and the fact that you wash them before you eat them, hopefully. The bag, meanwhile, has got all the contamination.
All in the bag. You don't wash the bag.
Hello, it's in the bag.
Well, that also happens when people who drink
Uh-huh.
or want lemonade, they say, throw me a slice of lemon in there or a lime in there. And you have to say to yourself, did they wash that lime back in the kitchen before they sliced it up and stuck it in this glass?
Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, right. And, well, I've got a friend of mine. First, we thought it was odd. And that's the exact question she asked when she got the lemon. How did you wash it? And you forget the simple ways that you can avoid really getting infected. And if anyone is interested in doing a fundraiser that can be fun and also profitable, you and I are working on that newsletter where we can customize it for the appropriate, let's say, church that wants to reach out to their congregation, have health tips, and at the same time promote whatever events are going on at their church, or maybe promote some of the members of the congregation so that everybody knows each other. And that's really, right in the name. What is a congregation?
Exactly.
It's a congregate, okay? But isn't it nice when you're congregating to know what each other does? And when that's really such a common thing that people forget. By the way, before we part company for this visit, I have another, actually I shouldn't call it an icism as such, but I will. It was a billboard sign outside of a church which says that God's gift to man was a house of faith. Some assembly required.
Right. Okay.
So let's assemble together, and we're going to be talking again hopefully next week. Okay, Dr. Andre Lee? Keep
Sure.
on. Have a good one.
If your question is, who am I going to call to bring the kind of services into my home that I need because I can't get out? House Calls on Wheels provides both medical and non-medical services in your home. They can bring in doctors, dentists, nurses, therapists, and more. And those medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. And they have all sorts of non-medical services, whatever you need. Now, if you use 4 hours or more of non-medical services per month, you're going to get a free personal emergency button telephone that you can use for both emergencies or daily use. Call House Calls on Wheels toll-free for further information. 1-888-489-8980. That's 1-888-489-8980.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
And welcome back. And I have the joy of having a lot of great people around me putting on these radio shows. And we've got our Mike, who is the producer of our show. But then we got a dynamic producer of his own show and all-around disc jockey, but a top-notch guy and just a fun type guy. And he has a showbiz name, and because he does showbiz stuff. And he how is this for name? Jimmy James. Is that right, Jimmy James? Is that your name?
You got it, Ike. You've been working with me a few years now.
Yeah, it's been a while, right? And besides being a producer extraordinaire, you do different gigs, as they call it in the biz. Is that right?
That's right, Ike. We've got a couple of shows coming up. Our Halloween party will be October the 28th at the Dearborn Heights Moose. For you Elvis fans, we'll have Sherman Arnold and the Interstate Band. This is the guy I told you about, Ike. Tyrone Hamilton, the guy who does a tribute to Ray Charles, and we'll be celebrating his birthday that night. Also, Brian Grubb as Buddy Holly. I'll be hosting the show. You get a full dinner. Ike, here you go. Mostaccioli, meatballs, Italian sausage, green pepper, salad, rolls, dessert, all included for $20, Ike. And we're going to have a costume contest going on that night.
How? Can I just wear what I'm wearing right now? Is that going to work?
That's what I always do. Every costume party I go to, I said I'm impersonating a DJ like I do every day. Haven't won anything yet, but that's what I go as.
Well, you got to keep trying there, Jimmy. That's good. Now, what date again is that?
That one's the 28th, our Halloween party. Now, the week after, Ike, we have a big show on the east side of town. That'll be at DeCarlos Banquet Center on 10 Mile in Warren, Michigan. And we've got a couple of national acts coming in. I'll be working as your host with the Whatabouts girl group from the Motor City, but the Reflections, who had the big hit Romeo and Juliet 1964, also the Etzels, Ramalama Ding Dong, and all the big hits of the 1950s will be there. It's a dinner and a show. Starts at 7 o'clock. The show goes at 8, and we go until midnight. And I've got phone number to DeCarlos if you want to order tickets at 586-759-6500. Also have one for our Halloween party, 313-274-0286. But not to throw out too many numbers, you can always call me on the WCXI line, and I'll provide you the information on some upcoming shows.
Okay, well, that's great. And, of course, we have our safety toll-free number, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 888-489-8980. That's 888-489-8980. And I'll be glad to put you in touch with Jimmy James, the extraordinary DJ. Is that a good title for you, Jimmy?
That's great, Ike. I want to thank you for the invitation today. And if there's something I can do for you, feel free. You got an open door. Come on my show anytime you like.
All right. Okay. Well, we're on 2 stations as we speak, WNZK 690 AM and also 1160, I should say. That used to be the old. Yeah. Well, 1160 and also 690 AM. Hopefully, you have a double chance to hear us. And Jimmy, it's always a delight to have you here. I also have in studio, as I mentioned, the extraordinary entrepreneur, Richard Welsh, who has got an interesting career path, and he's fortunate enough that his wife gets along with him so well that they've developed a business together. Is that right, Richard Welch? Your wife gets along that well with you?
That's right. We do very well together.
Tell us about your company, Richard.
Well, the company's called Adorable Pet Sitting. My wife started it 16 years ago by simply answering an ad about walking a dog. And then everyone said, "Oh, do you walk a dog? Will you walk mine?" And then they wanted to know if we would board dogs. So we said, "Yeah, we'll board the dog at the house." And so for the past 16 years, we've been doing 4 or 5 dogs a week at our house. And they have the freedom of the house to walk in, run in, play with the toys, go out in the backyard. When we're there, there's always something to do.
So if anyone has a pet and they don't want to go the usual route of a boarding type facility, there's no boarding. You're in it's like a sleepover for pets, right?
It is, because the whole house is your cage. They can be in the living room with us, the dining room, kitchen. They can come up and jump on the bed and sleep with us if they want.
I see. Well, listen, maybe I might consider taking up on that.
All right.
And you're based in Madison Heights.
Hazel Park.
Hazel Heights. So it's around 9 Mile and I-75.
That is correct.
Right. So, and then you go out and do pet walking as well, right?
We can. I can do pet walking to help you walk your dog during the morning or early afternoon hours.
Mm-hmm.
And usually within about a 15-mile radius, a 9 Mile and I-75 is what I can work with.
Right. Well, the thing is that, and you're very reasonable. We were talking about off the air. It's only about $15 an hour, and there's some seniors I know that miss walking with their pet, but because of health conditions, maybe they don't feel comfortable if the dog or pet takes a surge somewhere that possibly is going to do them harm. You can walk with the person and they can be in the company of their pet. Is that right?
Yes, they can. I can hold on to the dog and they can walk along as well.
Right.
Yes.
And you got all kinds of stories you can share as well, right?
Oh, there's always something to share when you're working with dogs.
Right. Well,
each one is an individual by itself.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think there's so much that a pet can do for us human beings in terms of therapy and all. Isn't that true?
Yes, they're great therapy animals, regardless of the breed. But you've gotten to know them because you bought them, you adopted them, you rescued them. Whatever the situation was, you took them into your life, and you bonded with them. And that bonding can be a tremendous atmosphere for you to keep on living. And it helps. It's like having, they say, laugh every day. Well, when you have pets, you can usually find something to laugh at every day because of their antics.
Well, the affection that you have between pets and human beings is unbelievable. Just as recently as yesterday, I was talking to one of our fellow entrepreneurs, and they were unfortunately undergoing some really serious family issues, and they felt that the pet was so consoling during that difficult time. They felt like there's a connection that as a pet owner, that you can sort of read what the animal is saying, and they can read you as well.
They can read your vital signs, your temperament. They know how you're feeling that day.
Right. And of course, you're helping, the pets that are out there that unfortunately don't have a home, that you suddenly give them a home and they give you therapy that's companionship that cannot be duplicated otherwise. And one of the things, and we talked about it before, is how important it is for anyone that does not have a pet and they've lost their significant other to adopt a pet. And the Humane Society certainly has pets, but the pet suddenly gives you a reason for getting up in the morning, and also the whole aspect of feeding them gives you the good feeling that you're doing something positive. I mean, that can't be duplicated any other way. And they show their affection back to you. That's there's no price that can be put on that. So
You're
that's
right.
wonderful. So Richard Welsh, your company name officially is?
Adorable Pet Sitting.
Adorable Pet Sitting, and you and your wife actually work as a team.
Yes, we do.
So maybe you guys can become more adorable. I'm not going to tell you how far we're going to go with that. And anyway, anyone that's interested, call our toll-free number, 888-489-8980, and we'll be glad to put you in touch with Richard. Richard Welsh. Right now, I only have enough time for my favorite parting thought, which is, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift, and that's why we call it the present. Please enjoy your present by looking and living life with the bright side of aging. Welcome to the Entrepreneurs Network radio show. Our mission is to interview successful entrepreneurs who are willing to share with us their ideas and experiences, both the successes and the failures. Because as it has been jokingly said, you should learn from the mistakes of others because you'll never live long enough to make them all yourself. My name is Ike Engelbaum, and I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Network of Michigan, which is a group of motivated people that are all interested in helping each other in achieving our personal and professional goals. Please check out our website, entrepreneursnetworkofmichigan.com, for meeting schedule as well as self-improvement material. Our philosophy is that if it's to be, it's up to me. House Calls on Wheels has a great idea on how you can help your loved ones stay comfortable, independent, safe, and right at home by converting your attached garage or retrofitting your home to a customized home healthcare suite. Call 888-489-8980. The Healthcare Suite is a customized floor plan which quickly and easily converts your garage or modifies any room inside your home into a comfortable living area in less than 90 days. If you'd like, the unit has its own heating, air conditioning, and plumbing system, even a private bathroom, and all of this for less than a year's stay in a nursing home. And we have a budget plan so that we can work within your budget. Call 888-489-8980. We even have a free video that you can see. Call 888-489-8980 and find out about the healthcare suite now.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
And hopefully you can smile not only at home, but tomorrow morning and every Thursday morning from 9:15 to 10:30, we have our official Entrepreneur Network meeting. It's free, and we have actually donuts and coffee, all the coffee and donuts you can consume. Obviously, you don't want to consume too many donuts, but the good news is they're finding good stuff about coffee, so I think that's quite safe to drink until further notice. And we meet from 9:15 to 10:30. You get a chance to introduce yourself and hopefully make some great contacts. As I like to pitch it, you walk out smarter than you walked in. The Level 1 Bank has been very kind to us and providing us space. And it's a private type meeting area, so we get a chance to really know each other. We limit our group to 20 to 25 people, max 25, because 9:15 to 10:30 does not give us that much time, so that if we have a bigger crowd, people can't really introduce themselves properly. And if you want to stick around afterward, we have some business ideas on how to help get you started in your own business out of your own home. In fact, one of the benefits of joining up with the Entrepreneurs Network is that we customize a business that we feel is most appropriate for you. A lot of times, the sad part is that people, just like that old song, looking for love in all the wrong places. And the sad part is a lot of people really are going in an area that is not appropriate for their talent or passion. So if you are interested for a free introductory type get-together, we more than welcome you. The Level 1 Bank is 37100 Woodward in Bloomfield Hills, southeast corner of Woodward and Big Beaver, which is Bloomfield Hills. And if you want to have lunch with us, that's all voluntary. We usually meet right after the meeting at 12 o'clock at Little Daddy's Restaurant up the street on Woodward and Long Lake. So you have a chance to brainstorm with fellow entrepreneurs, have an opportunity to hear what additional business opportunities are out there. But as they say, 90% of success is just showing up. So you can log on to Meetup, as actually meetup.com, ENO Michigan, and you should be able to register right online, or just call us at 888-489-8980, and we'd be more than happy to have you there, because quite frankly, the more people we get together with different ideas, the more interesting the meetings are. One of the things that I try to bring out at all of our entrepreneur meetings is not only should you consider joining up with us, because obviously if we get to know each other, I can be of help to you not only by way of the meetings, but we offer a door prize drawing, free as well, that if we draw your business card, that you can get a 10-minute radio interview on this show. And we now have it on YouTube, so you could possibly become almost famous and possibly rich. But as I like to say, you don't have to be rich and famous to be happy. You just have to be rich. So if you come by, we can't guarantee on one visit that we'll make you rich, but we'll get you started in that path. And the sad part is that a lot of people don't know the basics in getting started to be successful in business. The number one word I would say, and there are a whole bunch of them, but I can only give you the ones that I feel are the most important. Number one is you have to have a passion. What is it that you really have a passion to do? The other very, very important part is you have to have the talent to be able to pursue it. And then there's the basics. Do you have a strategy of how you're going to get to where you want to be? Well, we can help you at least in identifying which area that you want to go. And I like to use humor as a way to convey some of my thoughts. One of the classic ones is about this fellow who's it's at night and he's under a lamppost and he's looking around like he's lost something. Along comes a stranger, says, it looks like he lost something. Said, yeah, I lost my car keys. He said, well, I'll be glad to try to help you. Let me ask you, before we start looking around here, when did you last use your car keys? He said, oh, it's about a half hour ago. I was 5 blocks away. So I said, wait a minute, you were 5 blocks away when you last had your car keys. Why are you looking for the car keys right here on this corner? He says, well, the lighting is much better here. Okay? So many times people look at where it's easiest to possibly do whatever they want to do. The truth of it is, any business that you go into, you have to be practical. You need the ABCs, as I like to call it. A is you need an attorney. B, and then in fact, before we go on to B, you need an accountant. B, you need a bank source. And C, you have to have good connections. Guess what? At our Entrepreneur Network meeting on Thursdays, we are inside a bank, and you have the connections. Plus, we have Harry Pivos, who is a longtime member of our entrepreneurs group, who is an accountant that works within your budget. And we have an attorney as well to assist you in some of the legal issues. And his name is Scott Lenheiser. And I am so glad that Mr. Scott Lenheiser is here in studio. Hello, Scott.
Good morning, Ike.
Well, welcome. So for those folks that don't know about your credentials and all, as you know, we always encourage people to have a 60-second elevator pitch that identifies what they do and how they can help people. So, Mr. Scott Lenheiser, give us your 60-second elevator pitch.
Well, Ike, mostly what I do as an attorney is related to business matters, real estate concerns, and taxation issues. And since I've been at it for about 35 years plus, I'd like to think I know a little something about what I do. Mm-hmm. I've been called upon to represent people on a wide spectrum of other legal issues that aren't necessarily linked into that. There are some things that I may not do, but I will always be able to find a connection for you to catch you up with somebody who has more expertise in that area than I do.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the connection part. Aside from the other people in the group that have connections, you can connect people that come to our meetings, and you're a regular attendee, which I am appreciative. And you're very easy to talk to, and actually have been involved in helping people get started in business as far as the guidance and all. And I wondered as to whether you could share with us, as far as starting a business, what is the first thing that you should think about?
Well, the first thing you should think about is, where are you going to locate this business, and will the location help you grow and prosper? Mm-hmm. Actually what I tell people is that first off, spend a couple dollars and have a demographic study made to find out if your type of business has the potential to succeed and grow where you want to put it down. There is a really good reason why the city of Columbus, Ohio can maintain 8 full-time pipe and tobacco shops. And the greater Detroit area is one that has a great many cigar bars and cigar stores, but not, I don't think, one full-time pipe store. And since I've been a collector for about 35 years of exotic tobacco pipes, I'd like to think I know a little something about that too.
So you can give them a pipeline? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I can give much more than that.
I see. Well, there you go. Well, this sort of fits what I was saying before about, let's say you indeed are a pipe connoisseur, if there's such a title. Wouldn't that be great if you studied the areas in Michigan, assuming this is where you want to be, and I'm sure Governor Snyder would love to have you. So what I am excited about is that I work with a small business administration, and the headquarter office, which is right where Brooks Patterson hangs out in Oakland County. His office is there, located at 2100 Pontiac Lake Road. That's in Waterford. And we've had some of our meetings there as well. They have a room where they have maps of the entire state of Michigan, and they have the demographics of every zip code in Michigan that's available for free. And what's exciting about it is that whatever business you want to get into, they can show you not only via computer, which, and by the way, they let you use for free, is that how many other related type businesses are there. And like you brought out so well, in terms of location, they say in real estate, location is important. Why get into a lion's den if you can avoid it? You then can know how many other related, usually a lot of people want to go in the restaurant business. What type of ethnic food do you want to serve? Well, they can identify how many Mexican restaurants, let's say, whatever it is, Italian restaurants, there are in each zip code. And I would venture to say, if you want to start selling pipes, why not go to an area that there are no other people there? And with the sophistication that we have today, you could probably identify where the smokers are in particular areas of the state. And we have, as you know, some really talented computer people and mobile marketing and all. Ted Cantu, who's a regular attendee, can identify to tell you, hey, this is where you ought to be. So don't go on 5 blocks away under the lamppost. Go to where your keys were, and likewise go where you can build your business. So if you would like to meet live and in action Mr. Scott Lenheiser, just show up, all right? We're going to be there. You're going to be there, hopefully.
Oh, I'll be there.
All right. So right now we're going to take a brief break, and we're going to be back with some other thoughts about what you should consider before, and hopefully give you some tips once you've started your business. Don't you dare go away.
If you're one of those folks who needs a helping hand, like somebody to provide transportation or grocery shopping or help you pay your bills, run your errands, laundry pickup and delivery, maybe somebody to help you with bathing and grooming or in-home hair cutting and styling, you can't get out and you need medical help, maybe a doctor, a dentist, a nurse, a podiatrist, you name it, or prescription delivery, House Calls on Wheels is the answer. They provide both non-medical and medical services in your home. The non-medical services start as low as $10 an hour if you're using any of the medical services, and all of the medical services are covered by Medicare and most private insurance plans. Call House Calls on Wheels for further information. It's a toll-free number, 1-888-489-8980. That's House Calls on Wheels, 1-888-489-8980.
Do you know someone who needs to see a dentist but is homebound? Dr. Mansour's Portable Dental Services provides dental treatment in the comfort of a person's home. Portable Dental Services administers all aspects of dental care. To make an appointment, call 586-873-5567. That's Portable Dental Services, 586-873-5567. Portable Dental Services, making smiles at home.
And hopefully you're smiling, even though it's raining. All right. Anyway, I'm not charging for that either, folks. And in studio with me is fellow entrepreneur, attorney, Scott Lenheiser, who, as we talked before the break, is involved in helping business people get started in business. And as we discussed, next to having the identification of your passion and whether you have the talent, is in the practical part of starting a business, you should consider having a marketing plan and a business plan. And because of our involvement with the Small Business Administration, they have templates where they have like a plug-in the blank type deal of putting together business plan and the marketing plan. And Scott will give you that additional support in terms of it's one thing to fill in the blanks, but the lines in between the blanks and the small print is where you can possibly get yourself into trouble. And Scott, you said that you read the small print. Is that correct?
When you cut me, I bleed small print.
I see. And what is it? The classic line in the legal field is that the big print giveth and the small print taketh, right?
That's what the cynics say about us.
Well, I mean, it's not about you necessarily, because it depends on which side of the document you're at. If you're the one that is trying to get started in business and you're being offered some sort of a proposition of buying a business, somebody like you that's representing the buyer welcomes your talent, because there's legalese that, unfortunately, unless you've had the type of training that you have, that can interpret it properly. Isn't that correct?
Well, on top of it, my father was self-employed as an accountant for 55 years, and I would like to think he taught me a little bit about stuff. And the Wall Street Journal reported not too long ago that only 1.5% of the adult population over 21 in the United States can look at an income statement and a balance sheet and actually know what it means. And I'm one of those people.
So in other words, when you get a document, you should never sign until you've had someone like yourself interpret what that really means. Is that correct?
Well, in any situation, when you think you have some kind of a dilemma coming up, I want to have everybody be confident that proper prior
planning.
Well, how can I say this? That properly timed legal advice is the least expensive and the most effective insurance anybody will ever buy.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's business or other things too.
Mm-hmm.
Because, whether by education and or by experience, the best tool that any attorney has is the degree of his critical thinking, because there's always a prior question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it doesn't occur to people.
Right. Well, I've been involved in quite a few business ventures, and I know that giddy good feeling you have when it looks like this is one of the best deals I'm ever going to make, and you're so enthralled with good feeling that suddenly your mind freezes and you don't realize the bad stuff. Is that correct?
Well, I'm always reminded of Mark Twain, who was also an entrepreneur because he had a lot of other business interests. And once upon a time he said, "It isn't what you don't know that derails your plans, it's what you thought was true turned out not to be."
Right. No, there's a heap of wisdom there. Maybe I can adopt it as an Ikeism. That's great. The truth of it is that you have to have someone that can interpret what is being said. You remind me of the classic anecdote about Einstein's wife was once asked as to whether she understood all of her husband's theories. And she responded, "Well, let me put it this way. I could understand the words. I could never understand the sentences." Okay? And when you're an attorney like yourself, you say, "You know what? You know what this really means." And the truth of it is I can't tell you how many closings I attended that I, verbally had agreed with whoever I was going to buy or sell to what we wanted. But the truth of it is that's not what it said on the paper. It could be misinterpreted afterward. And the sad part is that once you sign the contract, it's like and you suddenly realize you made a mistake. It's like trying to put toothpaste back into the tube, okay? It just doesn't come up quite right. So as far as the before part, do you want to share your thoughts as to who you should indeed consult before you make your plans progress?
Well, it always helps if you have another in to somebody else who might run a similar business somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Only from the standpoint that they will already have made perhaps some errors that you could benefit from in that particular sense. If you all recall the cupcake disaster here that happened here in the not too distant past, where the person who started a very well-known cupcake bakery expanded to some other things, and for some reason or another it collapsed, and there's no real reason about why it did collapse. I don't even know. Well, I know the Wall Street Journal didn't really talk about it, but it might have been a subject to why businesses fail.
Mm-hmm.
Because I see businesses make bad mistakes all the time, and I just have to keep my mouth shut because they haven't consulted me, and I don't stick my nose into other people's businesses.
Right. Well, so much can be learned from the mistakes of others. In fact, one of my ichisms that I like to quote is that good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment, okay? So until you've made mistakes, and by the way, this is something I feel very strongly about, is that a lot of people, with this cupcake example you gave, and I don't know the details of it, is that they regard it as a failure, and they become devastated and never try another approach. Well, failure is not necessarily just because it didn't work out. It just didn't work out that way that you wanted. The classic one, of course, is Thomas Edison and trying to bring the light bulb to life. Tried 10,000 ways that did not work, and someone came up to Mr. Edison, said to him, "You've failed 10,000 times to bring this light bulb to life." And he said, "No, I didn't fail 10,000 times. I found out 10,000 ways that it won't work." Okay? And you many times fail, but that doesn't mean it's a failure. And that's the type of knowledge that we try to share when we get together at our Entrepreneur Network meetings. As I mentioned, Thursday mornings, 9:15. How much better a price could you possibly get than more free? It's free. Now, why do you offer it for free? The reason is that I have this passion. I practice what I preach, that if I can help people achieve their goals, that to me is my gift that I can benefit from. We have a membership fee, which is only $1 a day. And my opinion, if you can't afford $1 a day, which is $365 a year, to decide on what you're going to do for the rest of your life as a career, then you should consider another career path. Anyway, we could talk for another couple of hours, but we don't have a couple of hours. In fact, we got very few minutes left, and I don't like to leave this segment without my favorite parting thought, which is, if you really want to get anything done in life, you'll find a way. And if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And there is no excuse for not achieving your dreams and goals in America, because it is the greatest country in the whole world. Remember, a goal is just a dream with a deadline.
WNZK has available a few good hours of airtime for a few good programs to serve their communities. Radio is better than ever in targeting an audience that listens to what you say. Learn more about this exciting